Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Drake Maye, the Patriots, rolling, big win on the road, locked in, fired up. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of the channel. Not only is it a great, inexpensive way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content. So hop over there, join, become a member. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. Drake Maye, the Patriots, Week 10, nice win on the road. Looks like we got some weather here. Also, this is an early third down. We're going to get an opportunity down here to the bottom. Missed this. Call it a deep out bench-ish route, maybe circus-ish route. Who knows what they call it in New England. This is one of those throws where I think it certainly doesn't look great on film. It certainly looks like it's raining pretty hard. I'm certainly not ever going to overreact accuracy-wise when you're in a weather situation. It's just, you could easily make the argument that the wide receiver comes out at the wrong angle. Probably the ball just slips. I will tell you here, just from a who's who in the zoo walk around defensive standpoint, anytime you have two safeties deep like this, like real deep, not like zero-ish presentation, really they can only bring 6 in this situation here. Well, we have 7 blocking, so we should be good to go. They end up running what I would classify as 2-man. So we're up, and then the whole thing is he supposed to come out flat? Is he supposed to come out to the corner? Only they know for sure. We're playing almost like a soft catch 2-man. It's 2-man everywhere else. They've actually got a spy for Drake Maye as well and only rush 3. It's just one of those third down defenses you're going to see across the league all the time. It's there down here to the bottom. I think the decision is right on. They can certainly rip it down the field with this unit. He throws this thing with some anticipation. So there's the throw right there. We're not anywhere close to being out of this also. So not only is it wet weather, we're playing with anticipation here, right? I'm not going to do all the colors because we sky-mailed the throw, but you get it. I mean, this is good stuff here on third down. You see the marker, we're going past it. You see the 2-man element as far as everyone's in that kind of trail inside technique. This is an awesome opportunity on a little outbreaker, and it's just not, we don't hook it up. And again, whether it's a wet thumb, whether it's insert any excuse you want, it's one of those things where everything is there except the final execution. And again, you can certainly see the water coming down here. Not easy to do. Also not easy to play quarterback when your center's one-on-one with Vita Vea getting bowled right in your lap. But I do appreciate the anticipation, and we just missed the throw. Next one here, another anticipation throw, this time Diggs up top. We're going to do a little play action. I call this a hinge up top. He's going to rip this thing outside the numbers with anticipation, one-on-one tight coverage. Beautiful throw. You see the arm strength, the timing, the anticipation, the accuracy. This is a beautiful little chunk. Again, taking advantage of a lot of one-on-one opportunities. Get in kind of big-ish personnel here. Fake this downhill run. If it wasn't there, you see the crosser coming across also there and open. So you see kind of Josh getting into his bag against what the Bucs are trying to do to him. Again, I just want you to really appreciate the timing, okay, the precision here with what they've got going on. And we've got some weather elements again. So at the top of this thing, post fake, we're going to throw it. He's going to throw it right there. And again, that is good, tight coverage. So he is right with him. Again, hinge to me just means as we sell on this go route, we're going to open to the inside and fall out, as opposed to a traditional comeback where you would open on the outside and come back. So hinge, you can see the separation. It's a nice job by Diggs. And then if, let's just pretend he slips, you come back to the number 2 cross in the field, it's also open. So again, beautiful separation at the top of this thing. Again, he's throwing it early, anticipation. Hey, let's go. We are rolling. Next one here, just a massive touchdown pass. Just a ridiculously huge play. Get Williams going here, 72 yards. Ridiculous top end speed at the top of this thing. Again, I think that there's a lot to love here scheme-wise, because again, you've got Josh dialing up play action, under center, multiple people winning down the field for big chunk explosive plays. This is a ridiculous touch throw. It really is. It's a beautiful throw, beating decent coverage, and then that thing is just full speed to the end zone. Now, defensively here, we're going to catch closed, and this is probably drawn or created to be kind of what most people call like a double crosser type idea here. When you catch a middle field safety, and they're going to try to invert replace this thing, what that means is that this safety is going to cut what he thinks is the crosser, and then the corner up here who technically has the post or crosser man-to-man up top, he is then going to fall off and try to be the new middle field player after we get this cutter. Well, down here at the bottom of the screen, we're just locked on man-to-man the whole way across. So when we go to make this throw, it still has to be a really good throw. You could make the argument that this is more open. And again, the route he does a decent job of keeping this flat. This is probably more open. With these double crossers, though, the ball is often designed to go to the guy who goes underneath. So you want that crosser to do exactly what it does. Invert replace, get a rub, get a mesh, and then we're going to come out the back door here. And again, the throw is simply outstanding. It's the touch down the field, pretty spectacular. Again, let's watch that invert replace at the top. So there he cuts it. You see the corner try to fall off and become the new middle field player. Now he's got to go make that tackle here if our corner can't get him down. That's ridiculous touch. The corner kind of guesses, and we are to the house. And that is top end speed. My goodness. Just a massive, massive play. And again, the Patriots got a bunch of big plays, whether it was this chunk pass play, whether it was a bunch of huge run plays that you might get some bonus footage at the end of this video of. That's a big time throw. And he gets hit here. Hard block for the tight end one-on-one. I mean, that's pretty spectacular. And then this top end speed. I feel like I need some sound effects for this thing. Let's go. Next one here, another under center play action. This time a little long trap action. Looks like Drake Maye goes 1-2. Hunter no, Diggs yes on the little cross. And it's just a really well-designed play. Again, Drake Maye operating, throwing it at a really high level. You can see him go left to right here. So no, right, yes, right on time, in phase, strike of a throw, outstanding. Again, I know I've already said it multiple times in this video, but it's worth mentioning again. I try to do a decent job of judging the play construction, the design, by how many people are open. That's not even really a good drawing. This shallow, and then this traditional more crosser, and then this backside in, all paired with what is essentially a clear route up top. Now, maybe you can throw it if you love the matchup. But to me here, this looks like where Maye's eyes are to start. This is obviously where the ball is going to go. And then if that wasn't there, you've got that backside in or curl. I would say this is open. This is more open. This is certainly open. So this unit, the architecture from Josh and company, is just having guys win. I mean, they are locked in. Open. More open. Open. I mean, it's just a thing of beauty. Nice base, great timing, rhythm. Probably a good decision to not go to Hunter there, just because that safety is driving him, even though you probably could get a catch and tackle. So just an outstanding job here. We got the long trap action. Again, we're pulling the guard. No, yes, rip it, on him. Little mini explosive play, let's go. Next one here, third and medium to long. We're going to end up hitting the number 2 up top on a little quick slant. We're hot on both sides. I got to imagine that the Bucs, the Fighting Bowels here, are probably not executing this pressure correctly. There's simply just too much space. If I had to guess, I would say 43 is supposed to drop on the right. But what I love from Drake Maye is that he has an answer. He gets the ball out. He doesn't get hit. Again, this is not the most complicated of scheme or throw here by any means. To the slant, who knows what route this even is. He looks like he's just so uncovered that he just is open. And again, wherever they're going with the declaration, we end up getting what essentially would be a free runner, free runner, free runner. And we've got to get the ball out of our hands, and he does. He's able to navigate this dropping edge up top because that's where his eyes were. But if he were to work down here, again, another indication of, do we have answers? Answer. Probably a better answer, but you can't argue the fact that we get a huge explosive play here. Again, I love the fact that we're running downhill. It's not a static hot either. I mean, it turns into essentially a glorified free safety screen down the field. It's just a thing of beauty. And again, it's a representation, it's evidence of having an answer versus pressure. So that no matter where we technically are hot, because we get kind of hot multiple places here, the center going to the right, if they bring 4 people, so as soon as the center goes this way, they have 4 people. If all 4 of these guys rush, we're going to be hot over here. So you would love, this is a really good answer. Over here, we're going to have 2 offensive linemen. If they bring 3, or they have the capacity to bring 3, there's a guy outside here blitzing. Okay, technically, we're going to be hot again. Even if he engages the tackle and drops out of here, it's going to be tough duty for the left tackle to fan all the way out. So I just love the fact that we're not taking hits. You know, you can see the left tackle thinking about cutting there. That's obviously going to make it tough to adjust when this guy drops. But man, that is pretty damn awesome to have hot answers like that playing offense. Next one here, second touchdown pass, Diggs up top. We'll call it a corner, a little switch release with a looper return and a corner. It's a beautiful catch. Nice job high pointing this thing, going up and getting it. Again, you know, this is going to come across as almost like a Josh video because there are guys just simply open via scheme so often. Now, Drake Maye is making some outstanding throws, no doubt about it. That's a great catch, some awesome individual effort as well in this video. But I just want you to pay attention here on this short motion. Okay, so they're obviously in man-to-man here. When we motion down here, they're then going to do what we're going to call banjo. Okay, so these 2 still have these 2, but it's going to be based on the release. So he's going to have the first one outside. He's going to have the first one inside. So that when we get this little switch release, so watch the release and how they sort this thing out, we have 2 people going out. So anytime you catch banjo or quote unquote brackets, when he switch releases, so he goes out, he's now going to take the outside guy. He's the first one outside. So then we're going to come in here, and this is where the corner is. So now to the corner, we have inside leverage. We have the leverage you want. So obviously that works as a touchdown. Then when we come back, so when Henry comes back on this little looper return, he's got outside leverage now. So that when we come back here, this is also going to be a potential touchdown. So it's just one of those things where we are schemed up. Everybody else is blocking. We're protected up. Touchdown to the corner, touchdown on the looper underneath. Beautiful job. Outstanding football. Next one here, another third down. This time we're going to reset. We don't like it up top. Now we can make the argument that the number 1 is probably there on time for a first down, but the ability to avoid the sack, to avoid the hit, reset your feet, and throw this backside in is simply outstanding. It really is. Holland's coming across screaming on the backside. A beautiful job here from Drake Maye saying, if he doesn't like it, okay, no, go, reset, rip it back across the middle of the field. That's outstanding. That's big time third down football. Now, again, you know, would I probably prefer him to just throw it to the number 1 on time, open? Probably. Okay, again, up right here for a first down. If this is the first read, yes, please. Okay, I think we pair it with a little check swinger wide, and then on the backside, we've got this in coming across. So for whatever reason, he doesn't like it. Okay, you're the decision maker. He's going to buy some time, and then the impressive thing at this point is resetting his feet and finding this throw back towards the middle of the field, working the middle of the field, as he's already reset his feet, basically extended this thing. So again, could you throw it right there for a first down? I would argue yes. The first down is the 45. Boom, on him. Okay, if you're not going to be able to do it like that is pretty damn outstanding though. Just a thing of beauty here. Not necessarily, let's forget about could we throw it to the number 1, although that again provides evidence of what Josh is doing scheme-wise, that I think it's there. But this, and that's a full-grown rhino running at your ass, and you got to reset your feet and rip it on the logo. Hell yes. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. I really do appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me, so thank you for taking the time and doing it. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, you know about it. Join, become a member, get even more Quarterback School content. We also have Quarterback School courses. You can check out all the courses over at the website, theqbschool.com. Hop over there and enroll. Finally, please make sure to follow me across all the different social media platforms. I really do appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get back to it. Next one here. This one's a bit of a bummer. This is 4th and medium. We're going to be in empty. We're going to end up catching man coverage down here to the bottom. I think the little defensive end pops probably confused Drake Maye a little bit, and this really needs to be a second window throw. So again, we'll talk about it from the wide here, but he looks a little bit kind of like his eyes got down, and by the time he gets back up to Diggs here, it's just a little late. So what's going on here? To me, this is basically a version of what in the West Coast world, and I understand they're not doing the West Coast stuff, but that's double stick up top. That's a pretty good zone play. Down here to the bottom, we're going to get what I would classify as like an inside fade with like this little under. And this is almost most likely the man beater side of this. So if we're catching man and we're catching zone, how you would most likely read this type of thing, you could make the argument that, hey, we could get more of a rub here. But I still think that Diggs does a good job here of winning right away. So this is a win. Technically, he's open, but he's not open to the quarterback because the edge player is popping out. They got both edge players popping out. So it's not traditional man free, and it's not traditional 11 rat or thief where there's a linebacker type hanging in that hole. They've got these two defensive ends popping out. And so what that defensive end does is when this is there, one, it's not there to the quarterback. So you've got to keep going and hit that second window. Okay. And it's not good enough to just run in there like I have drawn. You've got to stay kind of flat and friendly for the quarterback so that that corner can't undercut it. And again, I think it's probably slightly late in the second window. So watch how this thing plays out. We're watching the bottom of the screen, a little half rub right there. That's where he thinks he's open. Okay. He's got the mailbox open. The defensive edge player is standing right in the lane. So that's not going to work. Instead of putting the mailbox up, why don't you pump your arms and run a flat line so that the 27 can't undercut you. See him continuing to drift upfield. You want to keep coming flat. But for me here, it looks like Drake Maye gets confused when he sees this pop. So there, just sit on that back hip, sink into that thing, and throw the second window. Again, super easy for me to say with a clicker and a marker days later on a 4th down, to just super easy sit in there, hang, trust your pass pro, and let that thing win down the field. Although I do think it's there, it's not necessarily there right on time. You've got to let that thing hang. So see him looking to the right here, even though we're getting spider cammed, right off 54's right ear. So it's just a little late. You can see his eyes kind of go down, like eyes down, eyes back. Now we're late. That's like a 3rd window. Next one here, another 3rd and long. So it's 3rd and 10. The first down marker is on the 30. We're going to run what I'm used to calling 7 stops or swirls. This is pretty amazing that they hook this up and don't get a first down here. We'll talk about kind of what this play is. This play kind of plays out like essentially what a lot of people on this channel would like to refer to as deep hank. I'm used to calling it more of an oceans, like deep hooks play. Now, it's not the traditional deep hooks. I think of this play as, to me here are the 7 stops, or kind of corner stops, and then it's paired with this deep over the ball hook. So it plays out like if you were in normal splits here, not tight splits, as just kind of deep curls with that deep over the ball hook. And normally this thing is red, again, if you were outside. If you are playing this thing traditionally, it would be 1 here and then 2 to wherever that thing is squeezed from. So if it's squeezed from up top, you'd go up here 2. If it's squeezed from down here, you go down here 2. But you can see the spacing of those 7 stops and curls kind of in the same space, just different ways to get there from a condensed formation. Now, the part that is always interesting to me about this 7 stop swirl route is what are the landmarks? I always like 10 yards, nod, get to the bottom of the numbers at 15 and turn around. Now, again, this is not wide receiver school by any means. Okay. And again, I get, and I just want you to acknowledge here at the top of these routes, I want you to watch his arms. So to me here, I'm used to calling this landing gear. Not only does it tell the DB that you're stopping when your arms are flailing like this and landing, it's hard to control your body and be exactly where you're supposed to be because you're just your body's all out of whack. You're not balanced. And so it's just a huge indicator. To me, it's just sloppy route running more than anything else. But see him like full on, like he's full on like raising his hand like he's got the answer in class. Now maybe it's the red gloves make it look worse, like he's trying to be Julian, but arms wide, look at landing gear down. Okay, as opposed to tight turning that thing, landing gear up, double mailbox. We're all over the place. Look like one of those like used cars, like blow up things, like in the wind. And again, he catches this ball from a Drake Maye perspective. He catches the ball for a not first down. You just got to have some awareness of where we are and what we're doing. That's a shame. That's either a shame or a terrible spot. Just a really nice job. The other thing I want you to pay attention to here, I know that they know what they're doing on defense in Tampa Bay. They do a lot of fun, funky stuff, and they're really good. This ain't it, though. Just doing rando switches to rando switch, might look cool on an install, but this ain't it. So good luck to that. They get fortunate right here that the Patriots punt this thing because to me, that should be a first down from a quarterback perspective. Doing everything right, driving the ball down the field, 3rd and long. Again, multiple people open. Keep saying it, but it's true. Nice completion. This was one of the few muddy decisions for me on the day. This is to me as switch double post at the bottom with a deep cross from the tight end up top. I love the idea of taking a shot, burst quarters to a post. I think what you probably can't do and what he probably did here is predetermine what that shot was going to look like. So you've got to kind of let this thing play out front side. And again, I'm not immune to the fact that, a human rhinoceros ran through his chest here on the throw. I get that, and we'll talk about it. But to me here, I love the design. It's not traditional. So traditional double post would be up like that, and then we run that crosser back out this way. I love the idea of switch releasing it. So we motion down. The number 2 now opens up. He's got the big post over the top, and the new number 1 with the short motion is coming across here. And if you were to play this thing out and give it a chance, this is probably where the ball should go. So it's just that little wrinkle that Josh has added here with the stack formation, the short shift. Watch this thing play out. So yeah, we've got the leverage we want to throw the post down here to the bottom, but he's over the top of this the whole time. And again, the space back here for the other post, and it's obviously very easy with a clicker in hindsight to tell you where the ball should go. But if you were to throw it to the inside guy, that's probably a big hit and maybe scores again, as opposed to just predetermining it and chucking up a fair catch. Now, pass pro wise, again, everybody wants to play quarterback. Everybody thinks that they can play quarterback in the league. I just want you to understand you're staring down the barrel. You've got a big play opportunity down the field. You've got your left guard taking an L, and you are eating that. That is violence right in your throat. That is tough. Oh, my goodness. Next one here, another just beautiful deep ball down the field up top on a go ball. Hollins this time. Who cares about arms when you can just give a beautiful 9 route, nod him, run right past him. The corner's sitting there on 3rd and long thinking you're going to run some sort of out or in or movement past the sticks, and it's a great opportunity to just take a deep shot down the field. And again, you have to be able to not only take the shot, but be able to deliver that ball exactly where you want. Again, he's getting hit in the ribs. That is a beautiful, massive, big-time throw. So watch the route at the top. We're going to kind of nod inside here, right there. Just that little ever so slight nod inside, and we're by him. And that throw is right down his line. It's a thing of beauty. Just a beautiful job. 7-person protection. Block him up. Take a shot. If it wasn't there or you didn't like it, you probably got a middle field read by the number 2. He sits it down. He's also open for a first down. Big old chunk, touchdown saving tackle. But at that point, it's too little too late. Again, I want you to This is a beautiful job from Drake Maye, not only delivering a strike, but hanging in there, taking a shot. And that is right down his line. Thing of beauty. Last one here, interception. This one's a bummer, man, because it was a really good day other than this, really. We're going to fake that quicker now screen down here to the bottom to Diggs. It's not there initially. I totally agree with his decision not to throw it early. And then this throw, I don't think this is necessarily a bad decision either. As he goes to extend, the throw's just behind him. And again, whether you're dealing with the elements, whether you just don't put it exactly where you want, his ability to get out, create, run, extend, I think when he makes this throw at the bottom of the screen, you can see exactly what he's thinking. If he puts this exactly where he wants, this is a touchdown. Just like damn near any throw, if you put it behind him, bad things are going to happen. So we just missed the throw, but the idea, the capacity to extend, to create is there. One of the few times I think the play as it drawn up is just simply not there. So at the bottom here, when we're trying to fake this screen, I will say, just preference-wise, I'm not a huge fan of faking these perimeter screens from condensed formations. And what I mean by that is, if we were to fake this a little bit wider, it would, to me, open this up so that this seam is probably there, as opposed to when we're down in here tight and we fake this thing, we've now got the quote-unquote like fake seam here. You're just bringing this safety closer to the throw because you're in a condensed formation. Now, maybe you're trying to get the outside bluff wheel or rail here. If you are, I understand the tighter split. The other thing I would add to this is, if you don't get this, so this is probably 1, this is probably 2. If that's not there, I always like this thing being baked into like an outlet here, whether you want to, run him on a shallow, whether you run him on kind of a late bubble, just to give you some sort of potential where to throw this ball if you can't extend and create the other way. So do we like the seam here? I think you could maybe make the argument you could throw this thing at the 2 T's here at the top, high back 5. He certainly thinks you can with the mailbox. I understand why he doesn't rip it, because this guy's going to undercut it. And then the number 2 down here, probably not there, although you could make the argument you could lay that thing out to the pylon. But again, as he goes to create, that thing is there for a touchdown. It's just slightly behind him. So we missed the throw, but the idea is there. And again, his ability to extend and create has been something that's helped this unit the entire year, whether it's using his legs in the run game or being able to extend, create, eyes downfield. This time we just missed the throw. So that is a wrap. The Patriots are rolling. Really nice win on the road. I think Drake Maye obviously playing at a very high level right now, throwing it down the field as well or better than damn near everybody, making good decisions for the most part, showing the ability to play on time, on schedule, and the ability to extend, to create, to kind of overlay that athletic ability with his ability right now to throw it down the field. Pretty damn outstanding. You overlay that with what Josh and company are doing scheme-wise, as far as many people being open, having lots of answers, having pressure answers, having big play action chunk opportunities down the field with that explosive run game. All of a sudden, this unit is pretty damn special, happened pretty damn quick as well. I'm excited to see more. We'll see what it looks like down the stretch. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one. So a little bonus footage here. Henderson, have yourself a day. To me, this is just duo, and it really ends up being duo versus zero. I know there's a middle field safety back there, but the way that they're preferencing the passing strength here and the way that we get our quote-unquote C-gap player to jump out of the C-gap here, beautiful block by Henry, outstanding. I mean, great movement from the right tackle here, right guard, right tackle, but really the right tackle driving that guy out of that hole, and then nice acceleration to finish that thing. So again, what I want you to do is pay attention-wise. Anytime you're facing a defense that plays middle field closed, so what I would classify as post safety. And again, maybe this guy isn't even a post safety based on what he does, but it's presenting as closed. And to me, he's just cheating to these 2 up top. Really, once you get past this second level of the defense, so first level, second level of the defense, there's nobody back here. There's nobody back here. That's why you see so many teams playing, traditionally kind of that 2 safety look, because it does provide that kind of overarching umbrella or quote unquote shell to a defense. But when you've only got 1 safety back there, there is nobody to save you. There is no safety. So when you take that thing to the house, it's just a race. That's why you see so many like short yardage or goal line runs pop like this, because there's no safety at the second level. So once you get through there, you're through. And again, it's beautiful to have the top end gear to be able to finish that thing as well. But just watching this thing from the play side, anytime, I think you don't have to be a defensive guru to be able to fit this thing up for us. So if we're trying to fit this thing like this, and then the corner out here has the edge, anytime we're gapped out like this and we have one guy who decides he's going to jump around and do his own thing in the front wise, and we get any sort of movement right here on this vertical combo up here, there's just a lane right here because we've lost our gap integrity defensively up front. We're trying to go out there and make crazy plays, do our own thing. We jump and it's over, right? So we're squeezing that thing, and then it's gone. And he's got the vision and the speed to finish that thing. It's a thing of beauty. Outstanding. Next one here. Now this is 2nd and 10, but this is a good example again of no third level defense. So no safety. We end up capturing the edge. We'll talk about how we capture the edge. And again, it's to the house. Got guys tapping out all over the place on defense there. But this is a beautiful job. It's a few things. It's one, 31 on the right. He's a very good football player. That being said, he doesn't want to probably go one-on-one with what looks like a defensive lineman playing fullback, trying to hold the edge. So tough matchup there, and then we're to the house. Now it's a nice combo block by the left tackle and tight end up to the second level. But I just want you to pay attention here to the defensive. When you're in, and again, we can say, oh, it's 2nd and long. Well, that's the first level. That's the second level. If you get past these things, it's over. And this is just what I would classify as toss stretch. So as we go out here, this matchup of a big ass human against a DB, he's coming out here leading on this guy. If he doesn't set the edge, so if he doesn't have the capacity to come up here and forcefully set the edge, and he decides he's going to essentially try to make a hero play and undercut this thing, it then sets a short edge for the defense, and that's how we're able to house this thing to the sideline. And again, it's combined with a nice combo block up here to the second level play side inside linebacker, and that thing's to the house. So just watch the fullback and safety here meet in the D gap, and as soon as you go like that, as soon as he tries to not set the edge and blow that thing in, that collapses the whole defense. The first level's done. We're already up to the second level and we're gone. And that is over. Thing of beauty. It really is. And again, when the other team knows you have to run it and you can do this type of thing, it's pretty damn spectacular. And it's great from an offensive unit to be able to do that. Again, watch the tight end combo up with the left tackle. Again, the left tackle does a great job reaching that thing too. That's a tough reach. But that's just 31 saying, I'm going to be a hero, not set the edge, and then Henderson again. The ability to house those things, it's special. Outstanding. Big time run. I love the awareness too. It looks like he's looking at the sideline. Should I score? Yeah? All right, cool. Thanks.